Well, good evening. Fingers crossed, Amanda, good evening. I'm hoping the technical gremlins are gone. We'll find out hopefully in the next few moments. Well, week before was a bit of a nightmare, wasn't it? Dawn, hello. Fingers crossed, Dawn. We've had engineers out, we've had boosters put in, we've had all sorts going on. So, well, we've had an all good from Martin, so that works. Now we just need one for YouTube. Somebody on YouTube just comment and tell me that I'm here. Yay! We're here! Woohoo! Right, so tonight we are going to be using our Crazy Daisy stamp set, which is mad, isn't it? Crazy Daisies. We haven't had many daisies around here at the minute with all this awful weather we've been having. I'm trying to work out which way I need to go with this because, believe it or not, about 2 seconds before we came live, my camera thing all fell down. Decided it was going to go loose and just flopped. Oh well. So, let's get going. We are going to be using Crazy Daisy. Evening, Debbie. We're going to be using the sentiments from General Sentiments. And we are also going to be using a sentiment from Floral Arrangement, which was the one we used last week. Hi Di, hi Carol, hi Catherine. We are going to be using Chaos Stencil. We're also going to be using our super smooth cardstock, which comes in the 250 and 300 GSM, and our black cardstock that comes in the 120 and the 270 GSM. Well, we've got through more than we did last time anyway, and so far so good. We're also using our sticky glue. As you know, it comes in the 2 sizes, the 120ml or the 30ml. What else are we going to be using? Versafine Onyx Black, our crystal clear embossing powder, the anti-static bag. Hi Kathy. Our 2 blending brushes that come in the 2 sizes. So we've got the larger one that comes in the case and the smaller one that comes with the little cap, which both protect the bristles on those. Hi Jules. And then I've gone back to these colours that I love, but they work really well for the lives because they show up, which are Peacock Feathers, Cracked Pistachio, Fossilized Amber, Worn Lipstick and Picked Raspberry. Evening Veronica. So I'm going to clear this, and I've even been organised and worked out where I'm going to put them all. Oh, excuse me. It's a good start, isn't it? Anybody else suffering with hay fever at the minute? Oh, it's got me well and truly at the minute. Right. I'll get those bits out of the way. Hi Sue. Hi Carol. And hopefully we'll get through this. So I'm just going to spread these out so that we can get going straight away. So has everybody had a good week? Still enjoying our beautiful English summer, as always. Those of you that were at Bracknell last weekend, wasn't it a fab show? It was so nice to see everybody there. And it was nice to be back. I remember being there a long time ago, but couldn't remember the venue until I got there and remembered how awful the setup is. But we survived. We got soaking wet, but it was all good fun, isn't it? Right, I'm ready. Are you? Let's give this a go. So we are making 2 cards tonight, but one, it'll make sense in a few minutes. So what do we need? We need some scraps for our sentiments and for some extra stamping. We need 2 pieces of black cardstock that are cut at 6 3/4 inch square. Sue, it's awful, isn't it? I think until you've suffered with hay fever, you don't realise how debilitating it is. That's the word I was looking for. And then we've got 2 pieces of white, which are 7 inch square. And it is literally 1 per card. Hi, Brenda. And 2 cards, 7 inch cards today we're on. So that's everything you need. So we will get started. I'm quite excited we've got this far. Easily pleased, clearly. Right, so we've got our make art station. I'm wondering if I should try and bring this in a little bit. And then maybe tilt that a little bit and you'll get to see a bit more of what I'm actually doing. You see how worn out my board is too, but hey ho. Right, so I'm going to get our 2 pieces of white cardstock. I am lining them up level with a square on here, she says, and then I go in the wrong place. And then I'm going to get, if I can remember where I put it all. Thought I was so organised, clearly not. Hi Helen. So we're going to pop our stencil down. Try and find, now I'm going to be using kind of this half of it, so I want the bit that's got the most detail on really. So we'll pop that down there, and then I'm going to block a section off. So this is 7 inches and I'm going to block off at 4 inches, so that we've got 3 that is going to stay white and 4 inches that are going to get coloured in. Right. So let's get going. So we're going to start with picked raspberry, and we're going to use the edge of our block. Oh, we're not seeing this, are we? Better. There we go. So we're going to use the scrap bit of paper I've got here that I've blocked off, and I'm just going to run on that first to kind of pushes the ink into the brush a bit here. Hi Janice. So fingers crossed, it's looking like our little engineer that came out has cracked it. We hope. Cross everything, ladies and gents, if any of you are there. And then we're going to go with worn lipstick. And blend those 2 together. Now I do use the same brush, but I'm using almost using 2 halves to the brush. So one side I'm using for the picked raspberry, and one side I'm using for the worn lipstick. Purely because I'm using 2 at the same time. I wouldn't normally use it like that. Then we have got Fossilized Amber. And remember, we want these to blend, so go over the other colour slightly and then back in with that brush, and that will blend those 2 together. And we've got Cracked Pistachio. Evening, Pat. I love this colour combination. I wish I'd found it a long time ago. My colour combinations for doing this are always my biggest problem, because I need something that shows up, and it doesn't always show up as well on when I do it on here as it does in person, and until you start doing it on here you don't realise, and then you've done all that work and it hasn't worked. Bless her, Mum's cooking dinner for us all this evening. It's had a bit of a disaster. Dropped Maisie's chicken out of the air fryer all over the floor about 20 minutes before we would come in here, so we had all that to clear up, but we managed. We're working hard today, cooking our dinner. Right. I have done a few of these playing about today, deciding what I was going to be doing with different ideas. So I'll show you them as we're going along so that you can see them. Right, so I'm going to take this piece away now, just for a moment. Now I haven't cleaned this stencil up at all. I'm going to take this one away. I'm going to take my other piece, the other white piece that we had, the other 7-inch piece. I'm going to put this back on over the top of that, and I'm going to do the same thing again, but Janice, don't tell me it's frozen on Facebook, I'll cry. Please don't tell me it's frozen. If you're watching on Facebook, is it us or is it Janice? Are we freezing or are you seeing us? So I'm taking the blending brush and I'm just using that ink that's already on the stencil. Don't want to waste all that ink that's on there. So I haven't added any more ink. I'm literally using the colours that are there. You won't get it all off, but you'll get a lot of it off. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Di. Sorry, Janice, it might just be you tonight. Yay! So as I said, I'm not loading any more ink on these. I'm literally using what has sat on that stencil. No extra ink. And then we will take that away. Now, as I said, there will still be some on the stencil because you're not going to get it all off. Hi, Teresa. But you've got a much lighter, and you could probably do it a third time if you wanted to. There's not that much difference in those two at all, is there? Should we try a third on just on a scrap bit to see if we can actually get any more off it? Just because we can. Obviously this piece isn't cut to size, but we'll get the idea. Oh. It's always good to do this, and then you've got scrap bits and you can use them for patterned papers and things, so always give it a go. Don't waste it. The inks cost us enough, don't they? Oh, could spritz with water. Well done, Di. Didn't think of that. So again, we're just going to go in. Obviously, I haven't blocked off down the bottom here, so this is literally just to use up what's here. We could go on forever, couldn't we? As I say, I'm not picking anything extra up off those onto those brushes. Just what's in the brushes and what's on the stencil is being used here. I think the pink could go on forever. If I had a spritzer here, I would do it, but there you go. See, we're getting a lighter image this time. And I think, again, we could probably still get more out of that because there's still loads on there, but I'm not going to keep going, just so that you get the idea. Now, pop these pieces off to one side. Get rid of my stencil. Yeah, that's it with your board. We're going to go in now. Now I want this I don't want this border around the edge. So I'm going to now go in with my trimmer and just trim these edges off. Now they're about 1/4 of an inch each of the edges. So that should give you roughly 1/4 of an inch to cut off the way around the edge, which will lose that white edge for you. And we'll cut it to the size we need it to be. Don't forget, you do also need to cut that bit off the top of the white piece as well. Right, I'm going to do that on both sides. Hi Eileen. Couldn't do this ahead because obviously I hadn't done it before. I hadn't cut it out or hadn't stenciled it, so this I'm afraid has to be done while I'm talking to you. Now don't throw these little strips away, you're going to be using those. It's the best guillotine I love it. You won't ever see me use anything else. I don't know if he still even makes this one, but it's fab. Never use anything else. Right, so that will then give you these 2 squares. You're going to take a scoreboard now. I'm going to use the stronger of the colours. Actually, no, I might use the lighter of the 2 and come back to using the stronger later on. Now you want something with quite a fine nib for the scoring, so I've just taken a stylus, and every where's my scraps, here we go. Now I'm going to block that off here so we don't go over our line. Push this up, block this off, and hold that there. Every 1/4 of an inch we're going to score. So remember, your piece of cardstock now has been cut down from a 7-inch square to a 6.5-inch square. I know this isn't the most interesting of things to watch me do, but you'll get the idea. I did do some earlier, but then I played about with them a bit more, so I want to show you what I did with those. So I can't use the ones I pre-did because I got a bit carried away playing. Right, and then I'm also going to go all the way down along the edge. So I hope it might show it up better that way. There we go, that's what you've got. So you've got your line that goes all the way down, and then you've got all of these pieces. And I'm sorry, but you're going to have to listen to me do that for a second time. I normally have all of this prepped ahead, but I will show you what I fiddled about with and came up with. I'm always looking for different ideas to do stuff for just a really quick card. So, and this, if you need to, you could use the little pieces like this that we've just fiddled about with and use those, and just use a piece of white cardstock. Put 2 small offcuts together and you can make a 6x6 card, or a 6.5-inch piece of paper that we need for this, and use up all those scraps. It's a great way to do that too. Maybe I should have done it that way. You're all mesmerised by me, obviously, because you're all very quiet. Don't need that piece now. And then all the way down that run, so that we've got exactly the same again. Don't jinx it. I'm trying not to. Trying not to. Right. That's the hardest bit of what we're doing done to. No, can't go wrong with that, can you? So, we are then going to take our Crazy Daisy stamp. And as I said, I'm doing it on the lighter one. And you need one of your scrap pieces that you're going to stamp onto. Stamp and emboss. Hi Lynn, hope you've got something nice to take. I hate cooking, and I hate having to decide what we're having for dinner. So it's quite nice tonight, Mum's cooking. Right, because we've only just done this, I'm actually going to go over the top of that with my anti-static bag, just so that nothing sticks where I don't want it to. I'm not going to be colouring on this, so this is just regular cardstock. My super smooth is nothing special. So we're going to go in with Versafine Onyx Black, lots and lots of little light taps all over. As I always say, take your ink to your stamp, not your stamp to your ink. It's always much more successful at getting the ink onto the stamp. We're then going to stamp this onto here. And remember, it's a big stamp, so give it time to let that ink sink in. It was lovely to see you, Lynn, at the weekend. I hope you enjoyed it and then got home and enjoyed playing with all your new goodies. But it was a really good show. I'm really pleased that so many people showed up for it, because you never know when it's a new venue what it's going to be like. So they are hoping to come back again next year. I believe they've just launched some dates, so watch this space. Hopefully next Facebook Live, Amanda. I'm not doing many big Christmas ones this year, because we did quite a big Christmas launch last year. They won't be launched on TV. They are going to be launched here only. We are not on TV now till August. So, right. So that's our stamped image. And then we're just going to pop our crystal clear embossing powder on here. I didn't want to bring Christmas out while TV's still absolutely covered in Christmas, like it is at the moment. I believe everywhere's still doing Christmas, aren't they? So they did June and July. So there's only so many Christmas things everybody wants to see in a week. Right, so we have got our stamped and now embossed. So we're going to heat that from underneath. Now obviously you can't wiggle it quite the same because this is all corrugated, so to speak, so just give it a little bit of a shuffle. Now you need to stamp that out twice, once on here and once onto the scrap piece. On your scrap piece you are going to, I've just realised I got rid of my water that I did actually need, so I'm hoping I've still got a water brush with some water in it in here somewhere. I'm not going to be that lucky, am I? Oh well. Okay, so we're going to be cutting, sorry Amanda, fussy cutting these flowers out. So I'm going to take, look at where your image is, and I'm going to go with these sorts of colours. So I'll go with a bit of pink down here. Now, you've all heard me say that I don't often put colour over the top of a distress ink, or distress oxide over the top of an embossing powder, because it does tend to take the shine away, which is why I needed that water. And I'm just going to have another frantic look to see if I've got one with some water in. I know I did have. Yay! I need the tiniest little amount of water here. Just, I've got a piece of scrap kitchen roll and I'm literally just damping it. Not even enough to clean anything, but I'm just going to scribble over the top of that, and that just takes that extra bit of ink off there. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you'll manage that amount, Amanda. Now, obviously our butterfly is still sitting in the pink on here, so we'll go pink there too, and the same thing, just a little tiny bit using that same piece. This flower I would say is probably in the yellow, so we're going to go with Fossilized Amber. And do the same thing. Okay, and then these two flowers I would say is within the green. Di, I know exactly how you feel. We've had the heating on more than once. But don't you find that it's cold during the day and then at night when you go to bed it's really warm? I don't understand. It's driving me insane. Now remember I told you don't throw those little white strips away, because you are going to be using those that we chopped off. Don't throw anything away, do we? So, just get the bits that I have cut earlier. So I'm going to go in and I would cut all of those little pieces out, and you should end up with something like that. Oh, we're a flower adrift. Where'd it go? Oh no, I've lost the flower, peoples. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut one big flower out. Bear with me. I'll do it really quick, I promise. Cut the antennae off. You'll be fine. Typical, isn't it? Look, I had it all cut out ready. And the one that we actually needed, and one flower out of, and I'll find it, you know, when I'm finished, I will find that flower. Now, I do quite often tell you, if you're not great at fussy cutting, to leave yourself a white edge. I don't recommend you do that with this. You kind of need to keep that colour just in those lines. So if you can manage to cut, I can't cut with my glasses on, so if you can manage to cut that without leaving that white edge, do the best you can. Now if you notice, I don't think, yeah, you can see, I am moving the paper rather than the scissors. If you can manage to do that, you'll have a better cut. I don't know, I believe somebody's message just sent a message through. I will get to it in 2 minutes. I can't cut things out with my glasses on. I have to take them off, so they're on the top of my head at the moment, which means I can't see anything. It's crazy, isn't it? You have to take your glasses off to see. Ah. We're just about there. Bet you're glad that it was only one flower I can't find. And you know, as soon as I switch this off tonight, it will appear. Right, so that should be everything. You'll have your 2 big flowers, your 2 smaller flowers, your medium, your large, and your butterfly. There we go. No butterflies are harmed. See, Carol, and Carol, it's not often you sit and watch me. I'm normally your bedtime reading. Oh, I don't know. So the idea is that we're just going to stick these onto here. And what didn't I do? Sort out my glue before. It is bonkers, this weather we're having, isn't it? They have said it's supposed to get a bit nicer tomorrow. We're supposed to be going to the coast tomorrow, having an afternoon taking Maisie to the beach. But we'll see. Depends what the weather's like. If it's raining, we won't be going. Won't be anywhere near as much fun then, will it? Right, so I'm going to pop some glue on there. Hi, Margaret. We're doing both. Okay. So we're literally sticking that down. And that means that we don't have to worry about colouring in over the top of where that stencil is. It's quite a busy stencil to try and manage to colour that all in and not see the colour come through. They're quite strong colours. My mum, if you are watching, could you please turn me down a little bit, because I can hear me. Oh, lucky you, Kathy, visiting. Although visiting London, I'm one of those people that likes to go into London, do what I want to do in London and come home from London. It's not my favourite place in the world, but I like to go just to do that, to see a show would be lovely. Haven't done that for years. So you'll see I'm just giving that a little bit of a curl, purely because when I cut it out, it started to flip upwards and I don't want that. So we are flattening that down. There's nothing worse than listening to yourself, is that? And I could hear myself on Mum's iPad. So again, just doing the same thing. That's the one I just cut out, and I just don't want those petals to curl up. And last but not least, hi Tina. Can you believe it? We actually are making it through, peoples. We have Mum's house is a very old house in parts, which is where we film this, and it's got flint walls. And we think that was the problem. And it's a funny shape. It's an L shape. So where our router was, we had a couple of boosters, but there are now a couple of more boosters, which appears to have, fingers crossed, solved our problem. So that's the card finished, almost. Remember those white strips? Now, 2 of these, or maybe only 1 of these, will be the perfect length to go down here. Just finish that section off. I'm trying not to, but I think we'll be all right now, Amanda. Now, see, that's just a scrap piece that I've cut off. It means you're not wasting it. Let's stick that down. I just felt that that line down the middle didn't quite work how I wanted it to. It finishes it, but that looks better, I think, personally. So that's using up those bits. Now, obviously, as you can see, my card is still arguing with me. It doesn't want to be that curled up. So we are going to now go in with our stencils. Stencils, it's not a stencil at all, with our card, and make sure we've got it up the right way. Glue to stick your black cardstock down. And you're going to stick this piece down. That's not very in the middle, is it? Let's try again, shall we? Stick that piece down. It's fighting with me because we've got this bit which obviously stretches the cardstock, and then we have a sentiment here. So this is from General Sentiments, and it says, in a field of daisies, be a wildflower. Now you can stick it straight down, flat, or you can pop it on some foam pads. I'm going to go with a flat look, but go with whatever you fancy. Now remember all of that extra ink that's still on that stencil. I'm going to use it. Because as you know, I like to take my image through. I haven't gone hard to the edge, and I haven't gone hard on the edge on this side either, just so that you kind of get a little bit of what we've got on here coming through into the middle of your card, and then you can just put in whatever sentiment you want inside. So that's the first card finished. Now obviously we did 2 pieces, so I'm going to take the second piece, gonna lay it down. Now I told you I had played about a little bit earlier, so I'm going to show, if I stick this card a bit down, and then we can have a look at it. As I said, this is a great way of using up scrap bits of card. So we could go that way, but I'm actually going to go this way this time. Our card's going to open up like a normal card, but we're going to go up this way. Now, as I mentioned, I played about earlier with some. So I took a black pen around the edge of this one. So it's exactly the same as what we've done, but with a black pen around the edge, which compared to that one, you can see it just makes it pop a little bit. Then I tried this one, which I'm going to bring it in slowly, hopefully it won't. If you look at it, I've offset the stencil a little bit and then went round it with a black pen, so it makes it look a little bit 3D'd. And then the lines I did every 1/8 of an inch instead of every 1/4 of an inch. So I'm hoping you can see the difference. Just if I go there, you should be able to see that we've got the bits off-centered on the left-hand side and the narrower lines. So they're the different looks that we've got. So which one are we going to go with? I don't know now. Which ones do you think, peoples? left, mid, so the 1/8 of an inch with the lines or without the lines. I'm thinking, just because it's quite nice to be a bit different, I might go with the off one and the thinner lines, which wasn't what I was planning at all. But I kind of like it. And this is just going to be a really basic, simple card. All I've done is take the sentiments from Floral Arrangement, and it says, "Thank you, you made my day." So you've gone left, Dawn, which is the one I've gone with. You've said, Amanda, you've done the middle one, which was the original one I did. Yeah, I think the black lines would work for a man's card. You could even just do it without any colour, depending on your colours, obviously. See, Carol, I'm going with the offset too. I think I am going to go with the offset. Again, I've put that white strip of card there to finish it off, so if you do make any mistakes, you're good. And we'll stick this down. My glue is not being a... Oh look, we've got all different of opinions now. Right. Well, we've gone with the offset. I know, Amanda, just don't look too closely. You're not even going to see it when it's done, or have it around when it's done. You're going to be giving it to somebody, so it doesn't matter, Amanda, you'll be fine. So we've gone with the offset. So as you can see, I've gone around the outside. Oh, there you go. That's a bit better. You can see it a bit easier. So it's literally, I offset it by 1 or 2 mil. And then we just got to position these. Again, I don't want it too perfect, which is quite difficult to do when you're a bit like Amanda and a bit too worried about making sure it's everything's where you want it to be. Again, I'm going to take that on the inside. I'm going to be even more random this time and just there we go. Still no extra ink on that. I'm still using what was on that stencil, nothing extra added. And then we'll pop these on. Now, I think I'm going to put these on with some foam pads if I've got some that are the right size to hand, which you never do when you need them to be, do you? There we go. That will do nicely. Just to add a little bit of interest, as you all know. So we've got a few batch cards made here. How simple was that? They're great for just, oh, nearly did it. Just have a whole load of cards cut, pieces of cardstock cut, and just do them in different colours. I think they're brilliant for like sending. How cool would that be for like a thank you card for your kids to send after birthdays or after Christmas? Do kids still send thank you cards for their Christmas presents? I don't know. A great teacher's card, a thank you card for your teacher at the end of the school year. My little niece is headed up to senior school now. Can't believe she's 11. Don't know where the time goes. So I'm going to pop that on there, and that is that card done. So as I said, we could keep going on and on and on with the same stencil without any extra ink, just using the same thing. So tell me what you think. Now I'm going to challenge you all a little bit. So you've seen me make this card, you see me make these cards almost every other week, but not often do many of you share what you've seen me make or your version of it. So I'm sure, Amanda, you are counting it down. I'm sure it's been a tough term I'm glad your grandchildren do, Cal. That's lovely. So I'm going to challenge you. So this is the cards we've made today. And there you know the colours that I've used. So I would like you, those of you that are on our Honeydew Crafts Be Inspired Facebook page, to share those with us. As I said, our next Facebook Live is, I believe, 2 weeks' time, which off the top of my head is roughly about, I think, the 25th, is it? 25th of July? Where did that time go? And there was July. Hi, Marianne. Yeah, so I'm going to challenge you to share them with us. There may be something in it for you if you do. I'll have to have a look and see what we've got about, and maybe there'll be a little prize to come your way. So I would love to, it doesn't have to even be this particular stencil, it has to be a Honeydew Crafts stencil using this kind of style. And I need to see you do it in 2 different versions. So using any Honeydew Craft stamps, any Honeydew Craft stencils, and share. Because everybody does it in different colours. Just changing the colour, changing the ink, changing the style, the font you use, just everything makes them look completely different. Same card, different. Debbie, you can use any Honeydew Crafts and share it on our YouTube page or on our Facebook page. It's called Honeydew Crafts Be Inspired. And all you have to do is go on and request to join, so we'll accept you, or someone from the admin team will accept you, if assuming that you are you. And you can go on and share all of your things that you've made. People go in and share all sorts of things. All we say is it has to have Honeydew Craft products on it, and you can't advertise anybody else's products on there. So you get me now. You've seen it all. Look, I've got my whole hat. I've got a hair tickling my face. So yeah, that's my challenge to you. We're back in a couple of weeks' time. I will, when I get back to crafting, had eye up. Oh, you finally had your eye done, Carol. Brilliant. Fingers crossed it's all gone well. I hope it has anyway. So what have we got to tell you about? Believe it or not, we have got a little bit of time off. We are not at the Doncaster Racecourse this weekend. Those of you that have asked and missed, or just are assuming we're going to be there, unfortunately, we will not be there this year. They gave our stand away to somebody else, and the one they offered us just doesn't work for us. So we won't be there. So keep an eye out on our website, is all I'm going to say. Those of you that are going, I hope you have a lovely time. We hope we'll be missed. Fingers crossed we will make it back for the next one. We'll see what happens. You never know. So yeah, so we're not at Doncaster this weekend, and we have got a little bit of time off. So our next show is at Thetford, which is in Norfolk, on the 4th of August, which is a Sunday. It's a Sincerely Yours one. The following week we are in Lee in Greater Manchester for another Sincerely Yours show. And then off the top of my head, I think it's September, middle of September-ish, for the Motorcycle Museum, which again is a show that we love going to. We do have a couple of workshops still with a couple of spaces on. So they're both in September. I believe the Newcastle one is the... Ooh, you'll have to go on the website. I'll have to check that for you. We've got a couple of places left at Lee. Well, it's actually in Wigan, or near Wigan. Don't ask me to pronounce the name of the village because I can't do it. I keep getting it wrong. But they are all over on our website, and I will pop a link on our Facebook page for those as well, just to let you all know about it. It was a quick, easy one tonight, wasn't it? We've got through it. Fingers crossed we've sorted out all these technical gremlins. Our website provider is on notice that if it didn't work, we would be changing, because I can't do it like that. We're Facebook Live and we have to be live, not recorded. So if anybody's got any questions, please feel free to let me know. You can either email us through our email address, which is honeydewcrafts@gmail.com. There is a link on our website, I believe, to get to us there as well. You can also get us through our Facebook pages or through YouTube, all of which are there. Don't forget, we've got hundreds of videos on YouTube. So if you're stuck for ideas, pop on there and have a look. There are so many different cards and ideas to do. We started these right back. When did we start? Right back in just before lockdown, I think we started doing these, if not during lockdown. So there were loads on there for you to go and have a look at. So pop on, have a look, see what you think. So they go right back 4+ years now, with different ideas to do with all the different cards. I hope you enjoyed this evening, a quick and brief workshop. Remember, have a go at some of our card sample, some of the tutorials we've done, and post them on our Facebook page, Honeydew Crafts Be Inspired. Pop on there. If you're not already a member, go on and request to join and we will accept you. I'll quickly run through what we have used today again, just so that you know. Oh, see, look, I told you I had them on a shelf. I had the shelf lid purposely for it. Let's have a look quickly, spin back round. So we've used crystal clear embossing powder. We've used Versafine Onyx Black. We have our sticky glue that comes in the 2 sizes. This one's the 120 and we have it in a 30ml. We have our 2 lots of blending brushes. So we've got the larger one and the small one that comes with the cap. We'll see you there, Jules. We've used the sentiments here from Floral Arrangement, which say you made my day and thank you, sending you a bunch of happiness. We also used in a field of daisies, be a wildflower on our general sentiments, which also has feel better soon, friendship never stops blooming, for someone who's wonderful in each and every way. Thank you for going that extra mile and sending good thoughts your way. And then obviously we used Crazy Daisy. We have used our anti-static bag, Chaos Stencil, which was Chaos, and then our white cardstock Super Smooth, which comes in 250 or 300 GSM, and our black, which comes in 120 or 270 GSM. The colours we used are Peacock Feathers, Cracked Pistachio, Fossilized Amber, Worn Lipstick, and Picked Raspberry. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. Here's a quick look back on what we did, and we will see you all. Oh, glad you enjoyed it, Kathy. Yeah, so we'll see you all again. I think it's the 25th of July, but keep an eye out on Facebook, YouTube, and our emails, and we will let